Alright, this is Lynn with Lynns Hangouts, and we're here today at Swabbies On The River, partying down with the awesome 220 band and Riff Raff. And today I'm chatting with a couple of wonderful friends and live music lovers, Linda and Al Chagnon, and to get to their story actually. So thanks Linda and Al for hanging out with us today.
You're welcome.
Very cool, awesome. We caught you before the band starts, so we'll get the interview going here and see what's up with
And
you
we have
guys.
the river in the background.
And the river, yes, don't go jumping it while we're on tape. Well, I had the pleasure of seeing the two of you get married back in March, and it was such a beautiful ceremony. And Al, you painted a beautiful picture of how the two of you met and how live music played a huge part in that meeting and dating process. Would you mind reliving that story for the camera now?
Well, February of last year, so it'll be February 2014, I moved back to this area here, Marysville, after being gone for over 20 years. And my sister-in-law, Heather, is the one that helped me move down. And I moved back down here to be close to my daughters and 8 grandchildren. Now, the reason I moved down is my late wife, Sandy, after having like 5-6 years of illness, passed away about 6 months before that. So anyway, I get down here February 15th, and just trying to get used to the area again. And a dear friend of mine, and turned out to be a friend of Linda's too, named Dixie, kept wanting me to go to the Elks Lodge for their birthday dinner. Every month they have a birthday dinner, and I thought, well, I'm not sure.
They have a birthday every month?
For the members. For the members.
I mean,
so
that's cool too,
I wasn't really sure if I wanted to go. You know, but anyway, so I decided to go. So we're sitting at a table of 8, and we're having dinner, and all of a sudden Dixie says, well, everybody at this table knows everybody except for Al. This is Linda. Linda, this is Al. And pleased to meet you. And it's kind of funny, we talked quite a bit across the table, and we actually exchanged Facebook profiles.
Nice. Now, did you go to these every month?
I used to go every month.
Okay, so you
I had no idea that we were being set up.
Well, and we didn't even realize that until actually the next day, the day after. So it was just a kind of, hi, how are you? Just little questions back and forth. But we exchanged Facebook profiles already, and on the profile I still had a picture of me with my late wife. So she asked a typical question like, well, who's this lady?
Right.
So under the table I kind of nudged Dixie, and here's the neat part about this is Dixie was my late wife's very, very best friend. The type of friend that you don't hear from for a long time, all of a sudden you call one or the other. And we still don't know that we're being set up here by them. So she asked, well, who's this lady? And so I said, Dixie helped out, and she says, well, Linda, that's Al's late wife. She was my best friend and all this stuff. I said, okay. So the dinner was over with, and she was leaving, and she come back, and she says, well, shook her hands out and says, well, good to meet you, or very nice to meet you. And then the next thing that was happening, that was a Friday, March the 14th. Saturday the 15th, we didn't do anything, but Sunday was the Elks Lodge pub crawl. So Dixie's daughter, Lisa, who's been with us on some of these events, works out where she does designated driving, and she said, well, I could pick you up if you want to go to the pub crawl. And I said, well, that'd be pretty cool, because I was thinking about going to it. She says, well, you met Linda the other night, and I'm going to go ahead and pick you up, and then we'll go get Linda. Well, I said, well, that's cool.
Together, right?
That's pretty cool. Well, anyway, turns out she did it the opposite way. They come to my house, and Linda comes there, and she met my little dogs and everything, and she just seemed lovely.
But I didn't know about it until she took me up that day.
Right. She didn't know.
Oh, by the way, Al's coming too. And I was like, oh, okay.
So even though it wasn't a date, pub crawl is what it is you start off one place, you just walk to these other places. By the time we got to the first place, the second place actually, we were pretty close already. By the time we got to the fourth place, which is Stassie's in Marysville, we were taking selfies, we were like really, really close, and it was just her and I, everybody else. So then the following week, it was a typical, we met every day. I joked with her about, hey, you want to go see, do you know anybody that would like to go see a movie with me? And she says, well, yeah, me. And I said, well, would you like to go see a movie? And we did. And I know it was Liam Neeson, I can't remember the name of the movie, but where he was a sky marshal. And then we went to the Ellis Lake, feeding ducks.
Yeah.
Saturday we went to Nevada City, walked around there. That was some pretty cool places. And then Sunday, my sister-in-law Heather, now we're only together a week now, wanted to meet her.
Oh, nice.
She says, well, I want to take you guys to the Delta King for brunch. So we did that.
Yeah.
But here's where it comes into the local rock.
Okay.
When we left there, she had to go home. We were going to go back to the car, and we walked past Laughs Unlimited, and we could hear some music. But it was like practice music, before they start. So, well, hey, let's go check this out. So we get in there, Laughs Unlimited, there's hardly anybody in there. And there's this 4-piece rock group getting together, and they seem pretty nice. And they, hi, how are you? We sat at a table, and we're listening to them and said, this is going to be pretty neat, And anyway, the girl in it, who, again, we don't know nobody yet, was Callie Pyle. And I said to Callie, hey, guess what? Now, they haven't started playing yet. It's our anniversary. So she says, oh, really? How many years? I said, 1 week. And she just and they just thought that was funny as hell.
And she did play that every single time you saw
Right.
her.
Yes.
Right. So the next time we saw them, it was 5 weeks, then 9 weeks.
Right.
She used to ask me every time, how many weeks?
Yeah.
How many weeks?
So just for the record, we're still keeping track, is last night it was 69 weeks.
Nice. Very cool.
So we went to Cabo. Before we went to Cabo, Mother's Day of last year, so now we've been together now 3 months.
Wow.
Well, actually 2 months. And it's just so close. I mean, nothing against Sandy, my late wife. The other story is Linda lost her husband the year before, also long-term sick.
Wow.
So the fact that Dixie, friends of both of us, is the one that introduced us. We feel that between Roger up in heaven and Sandy up in heaven is that it is sanctioned by them. But we are having the time of our life.
And you started seeing more music.
Saw you guys, saw you and Delmar that day. I thought that was pretty cool, and we thought, hey, we had a lot of fun because it's a Sunday. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, you're right.
It just worked out perfect. So we stayed the whole time. Of course, at that time, it was Callie Pyle, Scott the drummer, Philip, and at that time Tim Paraguay. So as we're making the plans for the wedding and everything, we both wanted a good wedding. Both of us had been married before, as I said, both 30 years, by the way.
30 years.
30 years, that's what so many correlation. Neither one of us ever had a big wedding. We thought we want to do this right. So we sat and talked about it. It'd be really cool to have a rock band.
Nice.
So
we both love rock.
so so we asked. First of all, I think we might have even talked to you about it first, but we said, "Well, hey, to Callie." She said, "We'll talk to Philip." Philip says, "Yeah, that'd be pretty cool." So then, anyway, to make a long story short, we had him in our band. Now, at our wedding, excuse me, at our band, at our wedding. And here's the neat things about this. I will still say that Four Barrel is closest to our heart because that's what got us. I'm not saying that's what kept us together.
Right.
That's
but
what.
It was your first band.
That's our first band here locally. They done our wedding, did an outstanding job in the wedding.
It was beautiful.
When we did get married, it was exactly 1 year
That's right.
in the Elks Lodge where we met. Had 165, 170 people there at the wedding.
Your closest friends.
Lots of fun.
Yes.
Great
It was.
time.
It was great.
And pretty much,
It's been a wild ride. Huh?
We're living the dream.
You're living the dream.
And
I
the funny
see that on Facebook a lot too. A lot of people.
Yeah.
And the funny part about with me is that I loved rock and rock. I grew up in the 60s. And then I went through a period of time where country, I always listened to country music, but I always like listening to rock. And it's only since I come back down here I started listening to rock. So I love it. So
there's so much out here. In fact, I was going to say, I know that the both of you are huge fans of Lynns Hangouts and are having such a blast meeting and partying down with all the different LH bands. I see you out and about now, or you're considered Lynns Hangouts team.
Yes, we are.
And I'm very, very grateful to have you both on board supporting these amazing musicians. So thank you so much for that.
Well, we love Lynns Hangouts, and
thank you.
it's always nice to go on your website and see like what's going on that
Plan
week,
your weekend.
and we can plan our week. And
Exactly.
yeah, so it's been a tremendous help to us to know what's going on in the Sacramento area.
But what's really neat is the last few weeks is meeting more of the rock bands, more of the people. Our Facebook friends are I mean, everybody's been fantastic.
It just blew up all of a sudden.
It did,
All these
it did.
friends on Facebook. It's so cool.
I mean, now
it's so true. Everybody's so nice.
Riff Raff last night calls me Big Al. Big Al's in the house.
Riff-Raff.
I mean, not Riff Raff. That's here today.
Yeah, Jet Screamer.
Jet Screamer. Sorry, Angela.
But I'm sure Riff Raff will say something like that.
But anyway, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, Linda, please tell us a bit about how live music influences your lives now, and how you schedule your time seeing the bands, what your favorite venue is, maybe even your favorite major act.
Well, we look at Lynns Hangouts every week and try to figure out what's going on and who do we want to see. And there are several that we are like, oh, we want to see them, we want to see this one. As far as like how it's influenced our lives, we listen to music all the time. We're always talking about, do you know who this is? Do you know who that is? And we have a bucket list of who we want to see as far as major acts. And then now we have a bucket list for the local acts as well.
That's awesome.
So there's several that we've got lined up for the next few weeks that we want to see. We have, as far as major acts go, we're going to go see ZZ Top and
AC/DC.
Oh,
Foreigner and Kid Rock.
In September, and then
in October,
Get the Lead Out.
A Led Zeppelin tribute band. Led Zeppelin's my favorite all-time band,
and mine too.
And I've never seen them live, but Get the Lead Out is going to be in Napa on October 3rd, I think it is. So we're going to go see that. Looking forward to that.
Man, you guys, that's awesome.
Yeah, so as far as, the music and everything in our lives, we feel like the one thing that we've learned from our experiences and going through the death of our spouses is that life is very short. And very precious. And you need to grab it and do everything you possibly can before it's over with. And that's just what we're trying to do. We're kind of living the dream and doing what we want to do and having a blast. Having so much fun.
Love the smiles. You guys always have those beautiful smiles. That's awesome. I can tell you're living the dream. So, in fact, I'm sure that so many folks watching this interview would love to have your life. It's so cool. You both are so inspiring. So, thank you so much for that. And it's been a great interview. Thank you so much. I can't wait to put this out there so everybody can see what it's like to be this side instead of a band member. It's
my message to everybody is live the dream, as Linda was saying. Live today like there's no tomorrow, and rock on.
Rock on. I love it. Oh, someone's honking at us now. All right, thanks guys. Let's go rock.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.